I don't understand what they want from me. mountains rise. They push me to divert my vision, but I will break the ceiling and the walls that kept me in for all this time, and all the reasons that I cannot find.
Feel brave for being fall under that pressure. Feel brave for me to give it up. Well, I will not work against the forces I trust. Have to stay above the rushing water.
I will do my best to keep myself composed. It takes a lot not to overload. They can't tell me what is right for me. I just need peace of mind and my ability. But no one said that it would be this hard. You can't force it, but you'll play your part. So I will run until I reach the end, and who knows where I'll be. But all I know is that we'll start again.
Feel brave for being fall under that pressure. Feel brave for me to give it up. Well, I will not work against the forces I trust. Have to stay above the rushing
I've got my sights on a brand new beginning. A steady rhythm will hold me to the shore. I've got my sights on a brand new beginning. A steady rhythm will hold me to the shore.
to get some light touch and quick. Are you serious? What is that? How?
Pinch it from both sides now. It's going to be Scream surely to finish things off, but it's a nice go! And it's two of them to win the round as well. Liquid, 6 in a row. JDM, what a play!
Previous map. Off to a great start now. Olaf 2 kills. Make it 3, make it 4. Olaf Meister. That's the man we need to see here.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to ECS Europe. And the producer's like, your cable's in the way. I don't care. But I'll be nice because he's stressing out. So Janko's going to be casting. As you guys can see, he's in the cast chair. So, James is indisposed. I think after the Reddit threads about him, trespassing, I think the police finally caught up with him. And we'll be finding out what his bail will be soon. And we'll let you know.
So buy those tickets so we can afford James's bail.
Yeah, exactly.
Anaheim.csgoleague.com.
Hashtag free James.
Hashtag free James.
He needs to be emancipated from the prison. Anyway, so Janko, we have a lot of matches coming up here. First of all, it's going to be Fnatic versus FaZe. We saw a bit of the new Fnatic yesterday, and they weren't too shabby against Astralis.
They weren't, and it's interesting that they were playing Dignitas though yesterday.
Against Dignitas, yes.
They played Dignitas.
There you go.
And they played Dust 2 and Overpass, and today they will play Train and Mirage. So a team that's only a week old has to play 4 different maps in a span of 2 days. Yesterday it was 2 overtime wins, so they also showed that they can grind out games already. So it's going to be interesting to see how they fare on these maps against FaZe, who has been splitting series recently. So.
And also, as we just saw on the schedule, NIP Dignitas, I'm actually really excited because not only... I don't think I've even casted an NIP game in ECS yet because they've only played maybe like 2.
And for all of you who don't know, Dan is an NIP fanboy, mostly Threat, but NIP.
Well, Threat isn't cool anymore, so.
But he's still part of the team.
Sort of, but they have Pit back, which is really interesting. But the other thing that's really interesting is that Dignitas, I would say, sort of plays or tries to play on the T side, or has in the past a similar style of play, or has had some similar strengths on their T side. So I feel like they're an interesting matchup as far as 2 teams go.
Yeah, the only difference is that Dignitas, in my opinion, does a better job of changing the pace, actually switching things up, while NIP was really focused on that strategic play style, which at some point probably made them a bit too easy to read, perhaps. So now with Pit back, we'll see how they approach the game. With Michael, they were a bit unpredictable simply because it's a new player. Everyone has a bit more freedom in the team because of it, and that makes them harder to read. So I'm interested to see how they approach it.
And with Michael as well, I like that explosiveness to his playstyle doesn't necessarily fit structures as well. And so it's like funny that they start to have like really good results again, and then Pit coming back. The interesting thing with Pit is that he kind of came in from Echo Fox after forever being the mercenary, the guy that was always the stand-in for everyone. We always knew he was very, very individually skilled, but it wasn't until we saw him in a system, in a proper team, that we're like, actually, this guy is actually a very good Counter-Strike player. He's not just like a Flare kind of player, has a lot of individual skill and makes all the highlights. He can play some Counter-Strike, he can be a team player. But do you feel like he was too constricted upon first entering NIP because he became like a super support, will fill like any role, and that was what he was on the team to do?
I think it's hard to be anything else in that NIP team with the 4 core players,
That's
right?
true.
I don't think there is an opportunity for you to come in and be the star of that team. Simply some of the players are there for a long time and they have their own roles and they're comfortable playing like that. So I think that's the only way he could have, and not gotten into the team, but the only role he could have in the team. And I think he has done a good job at it, basically, done what was asked of him.
It's interesting, though, because since having that, I guess, case study of Michael coming back into the team after, when Pit was injured and so on, maybe now they might say, actually, Pit, how about you take the AWP and make some plays? Like, because I think he's very capable of doing that. I think he is, at least, a pretty capable, aggressive player. We just tend to see him be more conservative because, as you say, that's what the team needs.
Aggressive player, yes, but an aggressive AWPer, I don't really think so. I don't think he's that good at AWPing. I think he can do an okay job as a secondary AWPer on the CT side. So you're only using it in certain positions, in certain situations. But getting him to do what Michael can do, I don't think that's viable.
Okay, well, let's take a quick look at the leaderboard and then see what these results will actually mean to these teams that we'll be playing today. We've got Fnatic, FaZe, Dignitas, and NIP as the teams playing who are looking to make some points here this evening. NIP, as I mentioned, they've only played 2 maps thus far, so they're not they haven't really done much. Well, yes, early days for them. They have 0 points, so they'll be looking to make some points here. And Fnatic, they're on 5 losses already, so they can't really. I mean, they want to be safe. They've got a buffer of maybe 1 or 2 losses that they could take, but this would be this should be a good one for them to take. And FaZe, they're looking strong as well.
Yes, and as I said, FaZe has recently been splitting series, so unable to close out both games. It's Fnatic, I agree with you, they can't afford that many losses, and looking at the table, depending on who they have to play yet, FaZe is one of the teams you would probably hope to get at least 1 map off of them. And NIP playing against Dignitas, yes, Dignitas is a strong team, but they really have small chances of making that LAN final, since they already have 7 losses. So in theory, they can't lose a single game until the very end, and even then it might be not up to them whether they are able to qualify.
It'll come down to round difference and all that kind of jazz, which is never really all that fun. And it's kind of surprising to see that Dignitas have had some struggles, because they do look so much better than they used to. Their results are showing it across the board. But online, you never know with online play. And it's interesting too, because with ECS, actually G2, they won the last ECS. That was like their big win. And so they're kind of the title holders for the time being. And for me, at that point as well, when they came through to the LAN finals, we weren't necessarily expecting to even see them there, because they'd just been changing their lineup and so on, and they were yet to find their pace and their form. So anything can really happen with the online, I suppose, qualifying, LAN qualification type period. And generally speaking, I would be surprised if they're able to do it again and actually defend that title. I don't really see them as the team that can consistently take the titles.
Yeah, they're a very streaky team at the moment, and that's what, when we are talking about teams that are more dependent on individual performances that don't have that structure, that's what you get, right? Sometimes individuals are playing amazing through the course of a tournament, even like they were at ECS and they managed to take the title. Sometimes they're not on point and you have nothing to fall back on, and you have a string of not so good results. And it's interesting though, because G2 wins ECS, then SK wins the major, VP wins E-League, NIP wins Kiev, Navi wins New York, Dignitas wins Epicenter, Cloud9 wins Pro League. That's 7 if I can count. Different teams winning major titles in CSGO in the past, 4 months, 5 months. So just tells you how open the scene is at the moment.
Yeah, and building into the next major, which is only like 2.5 months away or something like that.
Even the major qualifiers, that can be an arena event for itself, I think.
They're looking really serious, yeah. That's for sure. I completely forgot about that. That's going to be.
There is a qualifier for the major as well.
Yeah, that's important. 8 teams need to get their spots. Yeah, that's going to be really fun stuff in December.
NIP is there.
NIP is there.
G2 as well.
Yeah.
Dignitas.
Who else, Yanko?
Godsend. Barely Godsend. Envious.
Envious is a team that is on the up a little bit.
Cloud9. A lot of scary teams in that red.
Nice.
Optic.
Nice. And we're going to have a lot of scary teams also at our finals, which will also be in December from the 9th to the 11th. You can grab tickets. You can just go to anaheim.csgoleague.com and you can find all the information for the tickets. And again, if you are a student, you can get tickets for free. I still believe there are tickets available for students. They are limited, so get on those as quickly as you can, because I think a lot of them have gone already. But also, as you can see, if you follow the bit.ly link, ECS2 discount 25. The 25 means 25% off the tickets, so there is that discount running in there for you as well. And you can see all the other information from the website anaheim.csgoleague.com. But I believe it is time to get into our game very, very soon now. And as you said, FaZe, Fnatic be splitting games, and with these two teams, it's actually I think we're going to see quite a fun match from. I mean, we're not going to see like a very cerebral match. It's just going to be people shooting each other in the face.
It's going to come down to more like mid-round calling, right? If a team gets some map control, how are they going to end the round after that? We saw yesterday that Fnatic, even though with this new roster and a limited amount of time, they were doing a great job on Overpass on the CT side when the rounds do get extended, of getting map information, pushing for info, and then getting good timing on the flanks. That was one of all the Fanatics with Pronax, that was one of their main strengths, being really good at reading what's going on in the round and going for the right places for information. Sometimes you try to flash in, get info, you run into where the opposing team is, and you just die. So Fnatic, really good at those mid-round calls.
Do you know who's calling right now for Fnatic?
Right now, I have no idea, because it was Twist before the changes. Like at Epicenter, it was Twist calling. I'm not sure which rules do you guys use. Can the coaches talk full time? So it might even be Jumpy at this point. But from what I know, they want to somehow, they hope that Dennis will change his mind and be willing to lead the team, because he is basically the only player remotely capable of doing it.
Right. And Dennis is he at some points he looks like the best player there is sometimes. Sometimes,
especially in pistol rounds. Although even that, in recent times, he hasn't been as dominant as we've seen him. So we'll see. I mean, there's obviously a lot of talent in that team. Even Disco Doppelin yesterday had 2 quiet games, and we've seen him while he was standing in for NIP and in his time in Epsilon that he can also be a carry in some of the games. So very interesting to see how this team will develop with some time. What are the roles going to be and who is going to do what in the team.
Do you know how old Disco Doppelin is?
I don't know for sure.
Is he a youngster?
I guess the guys can check, but I think he's around 19, 20. Right. I don't think he has 21 or more.
Because I get the feeling like, he is, as you say, he has that potential to play the carry, and he's very skilled. And we didn't really see that, as you said, yesterday. So he's 21, apparently.
Close.
So I don't know if he's ever been in a team like this, where you've got...
He has been in Dirty Dildos, though.
Well, he has been in Dirty Dildos. But a team like this, where you've got Olaf Meister, Crims, Dennis, Twist, like these massive names.
You have basically LGB, the old LGB team.
Yeah, that's actually
he's
true.
There instead of Type. I think it was the 5th player. Or Michael.
Was it Whitten? No. Was Whitten? I can never say his name. It's Whitten.
Let's move on then. We're probably both in the wrong. So
yeah. So I mean, playing with players of that caliber that have that much presence in the scene as pure stars, and also Swedish stars, some of the best players that there is to offer in Counter-Strike. There's probably a little bit of pressure, innately there. It's I've got to prove myself potentially.
On one hand, there is pressure, but on the other hand, you are playing with some of the best players in the country, so they are supposed to do the brunt of the work. So that, in a sense, relieves pressure from you, because you're not supposed to be the star of the team. You're not who's supposed to make the team win games. You're there to do what's required of you, to do your job, whatever that may be in this team. We're still to see that. And that's also, it depends on the way you look at it. I think more than anything else, it depends on personality of people, right? Some people basically put pressure on themselves, but, you have players who are pretty laid back and chill and just, take the game as it is and take it step by step.
And this is a map that FaZe often have enjoyed over the course of their tenure in professional Counter-Strike, just due to the fact, I suppose, that it's a simple map. It's a map which they can get a lot done if they manage to get their way into the open spaces of the train yards. And of course, they've never been, too shy of having players with AWPing capabilities.
And somehow Rain always has an amazing game on this map, as he has not such an amazing start in the pistol round.
Yeah, nice. You set that up well. You set that up super well. Looking forward to more of that. And yeah, so 3 versus 5 here for FaZe as the bomb goes down on the B-bomb site. There is a flank coming in the likes of Karrigan. So I have to see. I believe that the rest of his teammates will wait until he can do something with the flank. Got Alu creeping in, and there is the frag. So now there's players that have to distract themselves with the flank, and that allows more space for players like Alu and Jakin to move up the yard to get the kills. But Crims is close with the Glock, and Dennis will take down Alu as well. So problems here for Karrigan. 1 versus 3. I'm not sure if there's a kit anywhere from Defiant. That's obviously one of the issues that he has, but he will just get taken down by Olafmeister in the end. So quick 1-0 there.
Yeah, that's why, pistol rounds are always a bit random, because if the CTs get a couple of crazy one-shots, that breaks the round for the Ts, and it always revolves around the same thing. The Ts want to get close range with the Glocks, want to swarm a certain area of the map and take control, while the CTs just want to get those long-range battles, pick out a couple of the Ts before they go for the retake and use their numbers and perhaps some utility to secure the round. So that's why always, even though you have a good setup in a pistol round, perhaps a couple of good headshots from your opponents can, ruin that anyway.
Speaking of couple of headshots to ruin things. Maybe Rain will have a better day here because he's got himself 5-7. And in come all of Fnatic into that B-bomb site, just a straight up rush into B. I like this a lot as an anti-eco or anti-force buy. I think this is a smart round and it's going to work out really well. How do you feel about it as an anti-force buy? Because I'm always like very happy with rounds like this. We just don't leave anything to chance.
I definitely prefer when teams group up. I'm either for grouping up and just picking a bomb site, or treating it as a gun round and go for an execute with a lot of SMGs and a lot of utility. That's where you're the thing is, you need to realize the CTs, if they force, they don't have money for grenades, smokes, molotovs. They're gonna have deagles and Kevlar or a scout or a 5-7 and a smoke, and that's it. So that's what prevents you in gun rounds, is the utility that stops you from rushing and swarming a bomb site. So you just need to think about what is that hurts you the most. It's usually getting killed by a scout or tagged by a scout, then finished off with a pistol. That's what happens when you spread around the map. So by grouping up together or using a lot of utility, you basically limit the chances of something like that happening.
There we go. That's a good explanation. I hope many people are listening because I feel like I'm always like beating a dead horse when we see suboptimal anti-eco rounds.
Is that a euphemism then?
No. Yes. No. You're gonna do a lot of this. A lot of this.